tonight's homework is lesson 8-4. We're using mental math to do subtraction. So there are some strategies here. Now, the count back strategy, I would do it a little bit differently than the way that our math book is teaching us. So I'll kind of show you both ways. We've got the count back strategy, the count up strategy, and then use some properties where, and I'll explain that in just a second as well. So let's talk about the count back strategy. So the way the book is doing it, we have an open number line here. Our question says, Megan has 372 buttons. She used 14 buttons to make a collage. How many buttons does Megan have now? So the idea is that they are essentially starting with 372 buttons, and they're going to count back to 14 buttons. And whatever this equals is going to be how many buttons she has left, okay? So on an open number line, we can make some big jumps. Obviously, the biggest jump is going to be the hundreds place. So we're going to jump back a really big jump. That's going to be like 300 buttons. And so that's going to leave us, if I take 372 and subtract 300, then that's going to leave me at 72. Now, I have 72. I need to get to 14. So my next jump, if you can see right here, is going to be 50 more. So I'm going to make another big jump. It's going to be minus 50. 72 minus 50 is going to leave me at 22. And then I'm going to jump back 8 more, and that's going to leave me at 14. And then what I would do is I would count how many I jumped back. So I have 358 buttons left. This is fine. I would do it a little differently. The way that I would look at this is I would say 372. I'm taking away 14. So I would jump, I would probably start by jumping 2, which would leave me, I would land at 370. I could jump back 2 more, which I would land at 368. Now those two together is 4 out of 14, and I would just have to jump back 10 more. So in my mind, it makes more sense to jump back the 14 buttons, because that would be just as easy and leave me in a place on my number line. 358 is where I would land finally. So in this example, I'm landing on 14 buttons, which is what I used, and I'm counting how many buttons I have left. In my example, I jump back the 14 buttons that I use, and I land on the place where I have how many buttons left. So either way works. This seems to make more sense to me, but this is the way the book is teaching it. So the second one is a count up strategy. So we're going to take another open number line like we did before. And this time we are going to start at 14 buttons that we used. And we're going to count up to see how far it takes us to get to 372. So in this example, I start at 14. I would probably jump 6. That's going to take me to 20. I like working with 10s the best, and then I'll jump some more ones when I get closer to 72. So I go from 70. I need to get to 70. Sorry, I'm at 20 right now. I need to get to 72. So I'll jump 50. That's going to take me to 70. Now I can jump 300. That's going to land me at 370. And then I'll just jump 2 more. And that's going to land me at 372. So then I would add all of these together. I have 350. And in my ones place, I have 6 plus 2, which is 8. So you can see I'm getting the same number in all of these examples. In the last example, use properties. This one is the one that trips up the kids the most. So to use properties, we can add 6 to both 372 and 14. So let me draw an open number line here. We're going to start with 14 on this end, and we're going to do 372 on this end. Okay, now this one is kind of, we call it making a 10 rather than use properties. So I notice that 14, in order to make a 10, I need 6 more to get to a 10. And so if I add 6 on this side, I'm going to also add 6 on this side. And the reason that that works, and let me grab another pen here so I can show you, is that if I draw how far it is from 14 to 372, the idea is that I can add 6 and I will land here on 20. And I'm going to add 6 here, and that's going to end up at 378. And this arc, the pink arc, is going to be the exact same size as the 14 to 372 arc. And so that's why that works. And so we're going to add 6 to both of them. So in this example up here on the example, we got 372 plus 6 minus 14 plus 6. So now we're at 378 minus 20. Now that's an easier thing to do in your head. This 378 minus 20 can be done very simply in our head, and it's going to equal the same thing. So I take my tens place, I subtract 2 of them, and I get 358 as an answer. So let's put that one into practice. We'll use most of the time this strategy counting up and this strategy of moving the numbers on our number line. So we'll add some to both sides. So if you take a look at number 1, this is the strategy that we did up here, using properties or changing our number on the number line. So let me move this out of the way. So you can see we've got 232 minus 117. I need 3 more on the 117 to make a 10. So I add 3 to the first number, 3 to the second number. 232 plus 3 equals 235. 117 plus 3 is 120. Now I just have to subtract them. 5 minus 0 is 5, 3 minus 2 is 1, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So I get 115. Over here, I notice that 109 needs 1 more number to make a 10. So I add a 1 to both of these and move that on my number line up 1. So I now have 941 minus 110. When I do that, I can do that very quickly. That's 831. When I make a 10 on number 3, I look at this number and I see I need 8 more to make a 10. So I add 8 to this number, add 8 to this number. 289 minus 120 is the new number that I'm going to subtract. So when I do that, I get a 9 in the ones place, 6 in the tens place, and 1 in the hundreds place. So we're going to do that same thing over here, and I think that you can get that done on your own. So let's start down here with a different strategy. So in this strategy, let's use the counting up strategy. We'll start with 127. We need to get to 656. So I'm going to first, like I said, I like to work with 10, so I'm going to jump 3. That gives me 130. Then I can jump, I need to get to 50, so I need to jump 20 more. That's going to leave me at 150. I can jump 500. Will land me at 650. Nope, I only need to jump 400. No, I don't. No, 500. 500, 650. Yeah, we need to jump 500. Lands us at 650, and then 6 more will give me 656. Sorry, we all make mistakes, right? Then I add all of these numbers together. I start with my hundreds. I got 500. I have 20 in the ones and 9 in the tens place. So that's how I'm going to do that. We could do one where we count back. We could do a count back like this, where we start with 781. We want to land at 536. And so in order to do that, if I jump back, what's going to make this easier? Of course, I'm going to do -1 first. That lands me at 780. If I jump back 200, that's going to land me at 580. I need to jump back 50. 50 is too many. Let's jump back 40. That lands me at 540, and then 4 more lands me at 536. Then I just add those together. I got 240 and 5 for that answer. Really, with these open number lines, whatever makes the most sense is going to be where you're jumping to and from. So the kids, and on the note it said that you can of course use any strategies, but at least try those, see if they work for your kids. If I was looking at this one, I would say this one is easiest to make a 10. If I add +1 to that side, I add +1 to this side, that gives me 229 minus 120. That makes it very easy to subtract mentally. I've got 109 left over. So that's the way that we can do those very quickly in our head. We try and add them as much as we can. The kids always know this strategy, 647 minus 355. We call this the mom and pop way. I don't know why the second grade teaches it that way in our school, so we just subtract 7 minus 5 is 2. 4 minus 5 we can't do, so we have to go and borrow from next door. That leaves 5. 14 minus 5 is 9, and 2 here. So they can always use that strategy, but please, if possible, see if they can try these and see if any of those work good. Because this way is not really the mental math that we're trying to teach. This is like our pen and paper type of math, where this kind, once they get the hang of it, they can do these strategies easier in their head once they learn it. So that's what our homework looks like tonight. I'm not going to show the back side because most of the kids can do the back side on their own. So, all right, have a good night.